broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Marshawn Arena for today's Southeastern Conference basketball matchup between the Missouri Tigers and your University of Arkansas Razorbacks. Presented by Simmons Lunch. We want to meet your back. First for our visitors from Columbia, Missouri, at forward, 6'8" senior, number 21, Maurice Powell. At forward, a 6'9" senior, number 42,
Gotcha.
Alex Moriarty. At guard, 6'4" senior, number 5, Keon Bell. At guard, 6'5" sophomore, number 32, Jabari Brown. And in regard to 5'11" junior, number 1, Phil
Okay.
Massey.
Yeah.
The Tigers coach Frank Hayes.
There's the family.
Are they here?
Yep.
Oh, can't
We'll
wait
see
to
him afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, Jonesy. Let's chop it up.
We'll put it down, baby.
You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's.
Welcome, everyone, to Bud Walton Arena, Fayetteville, Arkansas, in a game that's been anticipated and debated for a number of weeks. Missouri taking on Arkansas in this budding border rivalry. Part of Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. Rivalry Week presented by Wendy's. I'm Mark Jones courtside along with Jimmy Dykes as we get set to tip this one off in just a few moments. Both these teams coming in playing very good basketball. Winners in 3 of their last 4 games. And Jimmy, when you summarize the significance of this game, How would you characterize it all?
Well, you know what? I think Missouri is starting to play like what I thought they would look like come March, because it wasn't until midseason they got all their pieces, and now they're healthy again. They get their first road win this week, as did Arkansas. And you know how powerful and explosive Arkansas has been in this building. Only Syracuse has come in here and won. It took 35 points from James Sutherland to do it. In this part of the country, this has become a terrific rivalry as soon as Missouri was named to the SEC.
You got a feeling of that when you look at the number of people on the plane at the airport earlier today coming into town. Let's take a look at the Missouri starting lineup. They've used 6 different ones this year. Cressy and Bell in the backcourt. Bell playing well of late. Brown also in the backcourt. Bowers and Oriaki up front for the Tigers. Meanwhile, Arkansas featuring their 9th different starting lineup of the season. Mardrakus Wade, Ricky Scott, B.J. Young in the backcourt. Cody Clark and Marshawn Powell, the team's 2nd leading scorer in the front court for the Razorbacks. Arkansas has been almost, and I say almost, unbeatable at home this year, Jimmy. 14-1 here at Bud Walton.
Yeah, this is a young team that really feeds off the frenzy and the chaos that Mike Anderson's team can cause on the defensive end. And Missouri better be ready for it.
And we are underway. The Tigers win the tip. Phil Pressey running the point for the Tigers. Leads the conference in assists. And arguably one of the top 3 point guards in the nation.
And he has to be good today, Mark. He cannot play too fast in this building.
Bell cross court. Oriaki on the block has a decided height advantage and draws the foul inside. He'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Well, I love what Missouri did in the opening possession. Oriaki with a hard basket cut. They turn him down the first time and then come back with a mismatch on the inside. I think you'll see a heavy dose of Missouri getting this ball around the rim to start the game.
Oriaki shooting about 81% from the free throw line this year. Lowell, Massachusetts, a transfer from UConn, allowed to play immediately because of the extenuating circumstances and the APR situation at UConn this year.
A big guy that not only gets fouled, but then makes you pay. 80% free throw shooter in conference play.
There's 1 for 2. Arkansas playing the fastest 40 minutes of basketball that you'll see. So says their head coach, Mike Anderson, former head coach at Missouri, where he was for 5 years. Young, the team's leading scorer, losing the handle out of bounds. It'll come back the other way.
Well, good hands by Keon Bell to start the game. The best defender, one of the best defenders in the SEC, assigned to B.J. Young. Young got loose with the ball. Bell with the rip.
Pressey. Interesting, Jimmy, to try to take the ball out of his hands out at the top of the lane. Long jumper off the mark by Lawrence Bowers, and here's Young. On the move, and the shot blocked by Scott. Back up underneath. Powell couldn't get it to go. Pressey coming back from Missouri.
Arkansas corralling the action up top of Phil Pressey early on the ball screen.
Bowers off the mark. Bell almost had a hand on the rebound. Actually knocked it out of his teammates' hands. Good ball fake by Wade. They move it around weak side to Clark. Wade with the open jump shot. And Oriaki clears. Arkansas has yet to score.
Now, can Arkansas get enough rebounds in this game? That will be number 1 and number 2 question.
Pressey with the layup. Well, Pressey comes in averaging a little over 12 a game. Young with the long jumper, and now Arkansas missing on the first 2 attempts from downtown. Whistle, and it looked like Ernest Ross might have, Jabari Brown stepping out of bounds. Jabari Brown, one of 4 prominent transfers, getting significant minutes for Frank Haight, the head coach of the Tigers this year.
Missouri has opened up in man-to-man. I think we will see some zone by them also as this day goes on. Arkansas's 3-point numbers aren't great, but they're better at home.
Scott out top. Here's Powell from downtown, and they're now 0 for 3 from distance.
Their best three-point shooter percentage-wise is Marshawn Powell. The ones you have to make wide open against Missouri.
Well defended, knocked out of bounds. Active hands by Cody Clark, the 6'7" junior.
So to start with, Arkansas corralling any action of Phil Pressey, and they're switching out any other ball screen action in Missouri. That same defensive philosophy caused Florida a lot of problems in this building.
What does Pressey have to do to counteract that, Jimmy?
He's got to get the ball out of his hands. It can't become Phil Pressey versus Arkansas this afternoon. He's got to share the ball.
Oriaki inside, fouled, and you predicted it. You said it, Jimmy. They go down to Oriaki again, and that seems to be a budding trend here for Missouri.
Well, he's 6'9" and 265 pounds, and Arkansas just can't handle his size on the box. And Missouri knows it. It's Arkansas's biggest concern. And if Missouri can reverse that basketball, Jonesy, from side to side, advantage Oriaki on the inside.
Oriaki becoming a lot more consistent for this team. He joins Pressey as former AAU teammates, going back to the time when Pressey lived in Massachusetts, when his father Paul was coaching with the Boston Celtics. Oriaki knocks down the first of two. And he's off to a good start in this ball game, as is Missouri. Here's Young. All knocked away nicely by Pressey on the back tap. And Keon Bell on the move gets the layup. And Missouri off to a good start. If you're Mike Anderson, do you let it go here? Or do you think about a timeout?
I think he lets it go. Long arms by Keon Bell. First of all, defensively, he's a problem in his ability to get to that pass in transition, because it was not a great pass.
Young on the missed layup, rebounded by Missouri. Missouri, one of the top rebounding teams in the nation.
They're the best in this conference, and that's where Arkansas struggles, getting the ball off the board.
Welcome everyone to Bud Walton Arena here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where Missouri takes on the Arkansas Razorbacks. And this is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. A battle between a couple of teams playing very good basketball of late, both winning 3 of their last 4. I'm Mark Jones courtside along with Jimmy Dykes, and here in the early going, Jimmy, Missouri out to a 7-0 lead. They've done it attacking inside.
And Arkansas can't make shots, and they've had turnovers.
Nice feed to Bowers, and it's 9-0, and Mike Anderson has seen enough.
What a start. First of all, for Phil Pressey. It all starts with a little point guard, and he is playing with a great pace and poised to start this game. Phil Pressey in the pipe is a problem, and Arkansas has not been able to get this kid out of the pipe to start the game.
Well, Phil Pressey leading the conference in assists at 7 points a game. And Jimmy, in the big picture, how important is this game for Missouri and for Arkansas?
Well, first of all, as soon as Missouri was named to the SEC, this became not a rivalry, a feud, as we refer to it in the South. It's a naturally rival that's getting ready to blossom, I think. You know, Mike Anderson coached 5 years at Missouri, now he's at Arkansas. Missouri comes into Bud Walton. So these two teams have a lot of extra juice behind this game. The building's going to be hot. It's going to be alive. But Phil Pressey so far has calmed any extra intensity that this building can throw.
A lot of cross-pollination, a lot of interesting relationships on the two different teams. You mentioned Anderson coached Missouri, still communicates regularly with Lawrence Bowers and Pressey, the guy who Pressey regularly used to call Uncle Mike. And there's the first bucket of the game for Arkansas by B.J. Young, their leading scorer.
Set play by Mike Anderson out of the timeout. He had to take the timeout, and he had to get something good out of it, and he did.
And now you hear that sellout crowd of over 19,000 coming alive for the first time in the early part of the game. Brown had it blocked, and Jabari Brown, undaunted, missed again at point-blank range. Scott with a nice show and go. Way too strong. And rebounded by Missouri.
Here's Pressey in the pipe again, right down the middle of the third of the floor.
The floater came up short. I'm not sure what that move was he did. A little sleight of hand. Phil Pressey, diamond. Dropping dimes like a bank teller. More on the other side.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's. You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's.
Welcome everyone to Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. From Bud Walton Arena, Missouri out to a 6-point lead here. Game just getting underway. I'm Mark Jones courtside along with Jimmy Dykes. Frank Haight, the second-year head coach of the Missouri Tigers, taking over from Mike Anderson last season and taking his team to the NCAA tournament, won 30 games. Upset in the first round by Norfolk State. But this team, Jimmy Dykes, a different type of Missouri team, right?
I think they got a lot of pieces to work with in March. You know, how good is your good? Missouri's good is good enough to get hot in March and make a deep run.
That comes up short that time by Madden. There's Pressey.
Jonesy not real patient on the offensive end, trying to get a lot of stuff done after no pass or first pass in their offense.
Griswold's jumper a little bit strong. Jabari Brown for three has been a dead-eye three-point shooter after joining the team late. He missed the first 6 games of the season before becoming eligible. He's an Oregon transfer, one of several prominent transfers for Missouri.
Missouri gets 35 to 36% of their missed shots. Arkansas cannot allow that number in this building.
Young on the drive and kick. Wide open jumper good by Cody Clark, and he's on the board.
And Arkansas's first full court press at Missouri. I think you have to be careful with it because Phil Pressey can rip right through it off the bounce.
Barry Brown, and rebounded by Clark.
That's too quick. That is a shot turnover by Missouri.
All on the block. It's been a quiet day for him so far. Nice pass to Madden. Took the hit and got it to go.
Mike Anderson goes with full court pressure to speed the game up. He didn't like the grind effect that was going on the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Nice pass by Pressey to Criswell. Rebounded by Bowers. Knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Tiger basketball.
And Jonesy, the game is faster now. That's 2 possessions in a row. Missouri has handled the full court pressure, but they've come down, and after one pass, it's a jack, and that's exactly what Arkansas wants when they set up their defense. Kai Madden did a good job of making sure that he got his body into the defender and took away the shot block.
Oriaki coming into the ball game. Criswell taking a seat. Ball's also coming in for Arkansas as Cody Clark sits down. There's Keon Bell. Bell's been playing great basketball in the last 4 games, averaging a little over 20 points per.
Yeah, he drove his way to 16 points per game at Pepperdine over 3 years, and that's what he does.
Good hustle by Clark on Bell on cue. And that's going to be a traveling violation. Keon Bell, one of the highest leaping athletes in the country. They've already seen that YouTube clip of him on Midnight Madness jumping over 6 of his teammates.
5 or 6 guys, yeah. How patient can Arkansas be and grind away at Missouri?
Falls on the baseline. Boy, he had a great look at it. Missouri's not going to lose many rebounds to Arkansas tonight.
Missouri has to get the ball from one side to the other against this Arkansas half-court press.
Good defense by Haidar.
I think this is where Arkansas is at their best defensively. Not in the full court, but in the half court. They can really heat up the basketball, and Missouri has to get it from side to side and get touches on the inside for Alex Oriaki.
Haidar getting right into Pressey. Jimmy, is Pressey a little bit too fast right now?
Absolutely. Phil Pressey right now it's Phil Pressey against Arkansas. It cannot be Phil Pressey against Arkansas. It's Missouri against Arkansas. His eyes lit up when Haidar checked in, thinking he can take him one-on-one. Haidar moved his feet well. Pressey has to stay under control.
A little over 12 minutes to go in the first half.
That looks like a mismatch. Right now, that looks like a mismatch. It's not. Haidar is a guy that can really climb up into you and cover you defensively.
Pressey used the ball screen, fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for a pair. So undaunted, unremitting, Phil Pressey took it right back at him, and he'll go to the foul line when we come back. Just getting underway in this border war. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching the SEC on ESPN Missouri with a 4-point lead. Jimmy Dykes.
When you're guarding Phil Pressey from Missouri, you have to have a plan. And what is your commitment level to keep this kid out of the lane? Arkansas did not talk on the last action, and I don't like how they tried to defend the last action. Michael Quall told it, guys. 24 has got to get over and take that thing away. You've got to holler weak. You have to corral the action. You have to make sure that your game plan, what is your coverage, what is your protection behind it? And Arkansas was caught without either one.
There's a look at Paul Pressey, Flip's dad, present assistant coach with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and former roommate of Arkansas head coach Mike Anderson, going back to their days as players at Tulsa. Both played for Nolan Richardson, the former Arkansas head coach. So interesting lineage to follow today with the different players and coaches on the court and even in the stands today. A bunch of former Hog players courtside. And I'm not just talking about Jimmy Dykes either. I'm talking about Darrell Walker and Ronnie Brewer here today.
Yeah, the big guns. The big guns have rolled in, haven't they, for this one? Not an empty seat.
B.J. Young kicks it out to the corner. Haidar with the jumper, no good, and rebounded by Missouri.
Presley's going to stay right in that middle third until you take him out.
A little bit too deep that time and turned it over. Young on the move. Wow! He got a little bounce.
That's all on Phil Pressey. And I think Frank Haith will take him out and set him down because, again, he's trying to play Phil Pressey against Arkansas. That's a formula to get yourself beat in this building.
Pressey kicks it out to Criswell. And Criswell got all the way to the basket and missed it easily, Oriaki. Qualls almost had the N1.
Phil Pressey can cause you a lot of headaches, and here's what I'm talking about. Qualls has to get out here, and you want to force Phil Pressey weak, and you have to talk and say weak, and corral. They don't talk. You allow Pressey to get to his dominant hand, and now it's trouble. And Arkansas has to have a great game plan and a commitment to the game plan against Pressey when he's in the middle of the floor.
Qualls knocks down the first. Is that a call, Jimmy, that comes from the bench? From the coach and as to how they're going to play it? Does it change from possession to possession? How does that work?
It can't against Phil Pressey. I think you have to have a guaranteed plan going in. How are we covering this kid? And if you can't corral him, you have to do all you can to make it a feet game because his feet are quicker than anyone else on the floor. And you have to make sure your feet are alive.
Tell you what, Haidar's doing a great job defensively. Staying in front of him. Knocked out of bounds. Haidar's moving his feet well. As Ernest Ross comes into the ball game for Criswell.
Haidar is probably the most dangerous and the best guarding the ball guy that Arkansas has. And because of that, he may get a lot of minutes in this game on Pressey.
Ernest Ross immediately on his first touch.
Big, strong shoulder move of Ernest Ross.
Missouri leading by 5.
Arkansas under their motion, cutting, hard cut offense. This is where they can wear you down in their half-court defense and their half-court offense.
B.J. Young had it knocked away nicely by Bell. Cross-court Haidar wide open for 3. And Oriaki, how many times have we said that today with the rebound? And Flip Pressey seems a little out of sync today, doesn't he?
You know, he was, when they have played bad this year and they've had their tough losses, Phil Pressey has played too fast, and he has to stay in game speed right now in a building that can really get hot.
Off the Pressey miss on the 3. Chance to cut it to 3. Young on the drive. Got it.
He is so good at moving into his catch. He does it against zone. He does it against man. He cheats his way into scoring positions.
Jabari Brown with a Bogart move to the bucket. Finishing with the left. Nicholson kicks it back out. Haidar underneath probing. That's going to be a foul against Keon Bell, and Haidar might have sold that a little bit.
B.J. Young is so good at moving into the offense. If we roll this thing forward, watch B.J. Young. Boom, here he comes on a cut. He is so good at that move right there. He cheats his way into catches. He gets momentum on the touch. Makes him very difficult to stay away from that rim.
And an appreciative round of applause for Haidar as he subs out of the game. Young with a nice ball fake. And better defense by Bell. Oriaki snuffed that one. And here come the Tigers in transition. Brown a little bit out of control, and that's an offensive foul.
Arkansas is second in the nation, +6 in the turnover margin. They don't get it on the boards. They get it off of steals, drawing charges, and speeding you up. And Alex Oriaki, who's been dominant in this game, protecting the rim and getting the ball off the board, has a seat. Can Arkansas do something around the rim now with Oriaki out?
Showing a little zone look, looks like here, Jimmy, on Missouri.
Arkansas hasn't shot it great on the year. Now, they lit up Florida in here, but that's not the norm.
12 on the shot clock. Walls kicks it back out. 7 on the shot clock. Powell's had a quiet afternoon so far. Halfway down and out, and that's going to be out of bounds, Missouri basketball, but they did get a good look at it that time. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney is a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Tonight, Mason Plumlee and Duke need a strong finish to secure a top seed in the tourney, while their conference rivals, the Terps, led by Alex Len, look for a defining victory. Tonight at 6 on ESPN, also available on Watch ESPN. Bell, ringing their bell, and one.
I think you have to be very disciplined with your pickup point against Bell and pressing. The further you come out on the floor to pick them up, the more vulnerable you are. This kid can flat out drive the ball. He's strong, he has the Euro step, can do a lot of things to you.
Keon Bell, the former Pepperdine Wave, was their leading scorer, was approaching the school's all-time leading scoring record. Did a great job for head coach Marty Wilson, who successfully recruited him to Malibu.
Well, this is what makes Keon Bell so hard to guard. He can Euro step, and he's awfully strong when he does it. He's a 58-84 guy, 58% from the field, 84% from the free throw line, and he's the second handler behind Phil Pressey, the backup point with size. Those three things make Bell right now hard to guard.
Powell inside. Bowers didn't buy the fake, but Powell got it over him.
Yeah, Powell on the inside of Missouri's defense is their best playmaker.
Ross. Boy, Arkansas with good ball pressure, a little too overzealous that time, and the foul going to be called against Rashad Madden. Time out on the floor, the Hogs down by 6. A frenetic pace here inside Bud Walton Arena, starting to get even more frenzy.
This afternoon, each member of the team was presented with her NCAA participant gift. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to the 2012 Razorback volleyball team.
Welcome back. The Tigers with a 6-point lead, looking for their 4th win in the last 5 games. And these two teams have some interesting battles when you look back to 2006. Mike Anderson, coach of the other side at the time. Stephon Hanna scored a career-high 21. Matt Lawrence went 4 for 4 from downtown. And Keon Lawrence came off the bench to score 14 points. Missouri forced 24 Arkansas turnovers and blew them out by 22.
Well, Mike Anderson did a terrific job at Missouri in 5 years. He got to the Elite Eight once, 3 NCAAs. But he left Missouri because, in his words, it was a chance to come home. All the years he spent here under Nolan Richardson, winning a national championship, this is where he cut his teeth as one of the best recruiters in college ball, learned the game. There's his mentor, and I don't always believe guys in the press conference when they say this is the only job I would have left for. No, it's not. Don't even say that. But for Mike Anderson, I think this is the only job he was going to leave Missouri for because he got to come home.
If you look at the way that he left that Missouri program compared to the time he got it, he did some good things while he was up there too.
Absolutely. Missouri has doubled up Arkansas on the boards already, 18-9. And that trend can't continue if you're Arkansas and have a chance in this game.
Jumper no good. Comes Keon Bell in a rush. Laurie Brown, their best three-point shooter. Nice rebound up and in. Ernest Ross, putting some muscle in his hustle.
If you don't want to board, you don't want to win. Ultimately, that's one of the areas you look at in a heated game. And Arkansas has to gain rebound. You see the arm strength and the shoulder strength that Missouri can throw at you.
Now back out to Madden. 10 on the shot clock. Baseline drive. Nice cut and pass. Boy, they were patient and it paid off for Powell.
That was a really good cut by Powell. The baseline drive, and Powell did a good job of drifting behind where the drive ended.
Keon Bell with the floater, got it to fall. And Bell is on the board. He's putting in some good time at the backup point. Especially getting ready to come back into the ball game for the Tigers. Missouri leading by 9. Wesley has gotten some valuable rest. We've seen his team go up almost double digits. Powell cuts the lead to 7.
He's a versatile guy. He can move around. We've seen him operate on the inside of the zone, around the free throw area, the 4-hole, and now they step him out to the short corner.
Bowers gets on the deck. Loose ball, jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Hogs.
Arkansas again, drive the ball and then fill in from behind. Look at Powell, read it. Really nice patience. Powell didn't chase the ball. He waited for the ball to get stopped, and then he cut off of it.
Ricky Scott coming into the game, and Powell, nice to see him back, Jimmy Dykes, after suffering that ACL injury last November. Lost 30 pounds, changed up his body a little bit.
Now, he's very similar to Lawrence Bowers, both of them coming off of ACL injuries. They were not three-point shooters prior to the injury. But the one thing you can do in an ACL recovery is 1,000 jump shots over and over.
Clark knocking down the 3. And it's not like you're recommending you blow out your ACL, right?
No, not at all. But turn something bad and make it something good. And that's what both Bowers and Marshawn Powell have done. Mike Anderson backs off the full court press. He made a basket, but he backed it off. Going to trust his half-court defense.
Out to Pressey. Corner jumper by Ross off the mark. And that's going to be a foul against Missouri. Tony Criswell with the foul. That's the second foul on him.
Frank Haith, time and time again this morning in the shoot-around, told his guys this game's going to be about defense, getting the ball off the boards, and ball reversal. The more times they reverse the ball, the more opportunities they're going to get at the rim on the offensive end. And they have not reversed the ball enough so far.
It's a Powell in the post. They cleared out for him. Good decision over Criswell for the bucket.
You better get after Powell now. You better get after Powell.
As he pulls it out. Pressey with the floater left hand. And a chance now for the Hogs to tie it up or take a lead with a 3.
Another hard shot attempt taken by Phil Pressey at 5'10". Powell is the guy to me that looks like everything's going in when he touches it right now.
See if they find him here. Clark on the drive. Looks like he had it partially blocked. Ari Brown on the drive. Whistle, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
Arkansas is doing a better job of loading up the defense in transition as this ball's passed to Powell. Hold it right here, guys. It's now going to become a one-on-one game. He's going to be very patient with his move. Missouri not respecting the post-up ability, allowing the one-on-one defense, and that's not going to work on Marshawn Powell, especially when Oriaki's on the bench.
Former all-freshman in the conference. Another chance for the Razorbacks to tie it up. Looking for their 16th win of the season. Powell got it back. Battling inside, and he's fouled. He's rewarded for his effort. And that's going to be the 16th foul. Check that, that's 7 now. They're going to shoot the bonus.
Marshawn Powell will stop, wheel, and spin, especially when he drives left. That is his signature move. You have to expect it, and it has to be the help defense expecting the spin and the wheel.
Powell makes the first of 2. Jimmy, he lost 30 pounds in order to get ready to play Mike Anderson's style of 40 fastest minutes of basketball.
Yep.
How important is conditioning in this style of play? How different is it from maybe a more conventional style?
Yeah, I think you have to be in condition no matter what style you play, but especially I think for Arkansas. When Mike Anderson demands 3 or 4 minutes as hard as you can go, then I'll get you out. That's why Arkansas is going 10, 11 deep, and they want to do it today and try to get into a shorter bench of Missouri.
That's going to be a foul on Scott. Ricky Scott with a personal foul. Timeout on the floor. The Razorbacks to within 1. A pivotal SEC battle for different reasons for these teams. All right, back to the action here. Missouri with possession and up by a point. This is a Missouri team, Jimmy, that's faced a little bit of adversity already this year, so this is nothing new for them.
No, it's not. I mean, they had injury problems. They've had, the loss of Michael Dixon. That's to me was the guy that's the SEC Player of the Year candidate. It's not how hard of a blow you can deliver. It's how hard of a blow can you take, pick yourself up, and keep going. And that's what I like still about this Missouri club.
Young Bell inside. That's going to be a jump ball possession arrow in favor of Missouri, and underscoring your point, Jimmy, about the adversity and the injuries. The most key injury to Lawrence Bowers, who missed several games with that injured knee. That's when Missouri got a little bit sideways during that stretch. And there's Bowers on cue. Is he the same guy, you think, since the injury, or has he gotten back to where he was before?
No, I think he's a little tentative, to be honest with you. He's such an explosive athlete. He's been a little tentative with his cuts. Flying around the rim with a lot of courage was who he was prior to that injury, but starting to work his way back. And
that's got to be mom, right?
When your mom dyes her hair school colors, you're all in. You are all in.
Either that or, it's you going to the hairdresser.
You are all in.
That is passion and support.
This will become one of those games, I think, that if over the next few years, if you're a player in the game and it was legal to wear your face painted school colors while you played, you would do it. That's where this Missouri-Arkansas thing is headed.
Not a bad idea. Especially over Bowers. The floater in the lane. Bowers up to make an impact at the offensive end of this one. Young in a rush. And an offensive foul against B.J. Young.
A very good job by Phil Pressey to sprint, not in the back pedal, to sprint and load up in front of the rim. That's the only defensive play Pressey's going to make. And he did it well. Arkansas cannot win meaningful ball games without productivity from B.J. Young and Marshawn Powell. Just one of them putting big points up won't get it done.
Double team Pressey in the backcourt. Found the open man, Keon Bell, and one. That's the high riser out of Los Angeles.
How about the pass, Jonesy, by Phil Pressey? Arkansas has a saddle on him up the sidelines, but he elevates and has terrific vision. He can throw fast, accurate passes on the fly, Phil Pressey. That's why he's going to get a lot of serious looks when he decides to try that NBA. He'll get a lot of serious looks because he has a pro passer's mentality and ability about him.
That's like a football quarterback
Absolutely,
picking up the receiver in a blitz, huh?
Absolutely.
Approaching 2.5 minutes to go. The league back up to 4. Powell has since cooled off a little bit. Bell in transition, had it knocked away. Thus no double dribble. Pressey waltzes down the lane and finds the open man, Ross. Ross got it packed by Powell. The extra pass. Clark got it.
That was well done by Ricky Scott. Ricky Scott's wide open, but he's not a jump shooter. It wasn't the extra pass. That was the right pass.
Lead back down to 1. Pressey still cold offensively. Osberg with the rebound, back out to Bell.
Phil Pressey has done some great things in this ball game. Him taking one pass, 3-point shots is not what he needs to do. He's 24% on the year from beyond the arc.
That's going to be a foul against Clark. Caught on the reach, much to the chagrin of Mike Anderson.
Arkansas is not backing off on their pickup point on Phil Pressey. Going to try to wear this guy down. Why is Phil Pressey hard to guard in my estimation? He does not accept no. You can have him crowd and he's not going to give up on the play. He makes fast passes on target. We've seen a great example of that already, and he is extremely clever with the ball, extremely confident with the ball.
Hey folks, some of the top teams in the country headline Super Tuesday on ESPN at 7. Tough road test for Cody Zeller and the Hoosiers. They take on the Spartans. Then at 9, sharpshooter Kenny Boynton leading the Gators against Phil Pressey and the Tigers. Indiana, Michigan, followed by Florida, Missouri at 9, Tuesday on ESPN.
That is a great warm-up band prior to our game Tuesday night.
You're talking about Vital and Magic?
Yeah, absolutely. That is a great warm-up band for Florida at Missouri. I can't wait to listen to that game in my headset as we prepare for that game in Columbia.
You and Brad Nessler take the stage. The crowd should really be jumping, huh? 1:19 to go in the first half. On the shot clock for the Hogs.
It should be a Marshawn Powell touch to close out the possession, but they back off and don't let him get it.
Well, they packed it in on Powell. And good defensive strategy that time by the Tigers. What a pass by Pressey.
What a pass by Pressey.
I'm sorry, that was sweet.
No one saw that alley other than Phil Pressey. You and I had the same angle he did, and he's the only one that could see it. And the only one that could make the pass. Wow.
Kind of thought, what's he doing throwing the ball away like that? Arkansas swings it around weak side, and that's going to be a foul. Looked like Ernest Ross pushed him out of bounds.
Watch Phil Pressey as he brings this thing up. Right there. He's actually looking back, and he's going to throw a fast, accurate pass about 35 feet. Man. Hard to handle.
Did some great work on his game this past summer at the Darren Williams Skills Academy. Leads the SEC in assists. He talked to me a little bit earlier. Said his dad often give him a call and talk to him not so much about the X's and O's or the strategy of the game, but about leadership and getting his players behind him and all on the same page.
I've always said it, if your point guard doesn't talk, you don't have a point guard. And at 9 o'clock this morning, when they walked into Bud Walton Arena, Phil Pressey was chopping it up with his teammates, like my guy, Mark Jones.
Rivalry week concludes Monday night on ESPN at 7. Jack Cooley leads the Fighting Irish against the Panthers. Then at 9, Rodney McGruder and the Wildcats taking on the Mountaineers. Notre Dame, Pittsburgh at 7. West Virginia, Kansas State at 9. Monday on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
Man, Notre Dame got spanked today on the road, didn't they, by Providence?
It's that time of the year where not quite sure that the predictable is going to be so predictable anymore.
Well, I think the fight for a number 1 seed is so critical this year because the gap between a 2 seed and a 15 and a 3 and a 14, I don't think it's going to be near the width of the gap that we normally see, and you want to try to protect yourself as that 1 seed. I would back off of Pressey right here because if he gets momentum coming at you, it's advantage number 1.
Behind the back pass to Bowers. Bowers for 3. A tough first half for the second leading scorer, Lawrence Bowers, who continues to search for a little bit of his form in the wake of that knee injury. 33-29 at the break. Keon Bell leading the way with 10 points for Missouri. Right now we send to the studio with Chris Cotter and Seth Greenberg for the UPS Halftime Report.
of the Sandu Trio Russian Bar.
I'm Mark Jones, courtside along with Jimmy Dykes. You're watching Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy as part of Rivalry Week on ESPN. An SEC matchup between Missouri and Arkansas. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action. I'm Mark Jones, and you're watching Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy as part of Rivalry Week on ESPN. An SEC matchup between Missouri and Arkansas. We'll move ahead to further action, folks, right after these messages. I'm Mark Jones, courtside along with Jimmy Dykes, chopping it up. You're watching Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy as part of Rivalry Week on ESPN. It's halftime here at Bud Walton Arena between Missouri and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Both teams coming into this one having won 3 of their last 4. ESPN College Basketball available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone, folks, at WatchESPN.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Due to time constraints, we move ahead to further action right after these messages.
Possession by possession.
You're watching ESPN's Rivalry Week, presented by Wendy's.
Possession by possession.
And welcome back to Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy here from Bud Walton Arena, Fayetteville, Arkansas, as the Razorbacks trail Missouri by 4 as we get started here in the second half. Arkansas 14-1 at home, but Missouri doing well at both ends of the floor. Mark Jones courtside chopping it up along with Jimmy Dykes. Jimmy, Missouri on the season, one of the highest scoring teams in the league, usually very offensively efficient. As we take a look at our ESPN virtual hot zone, what do you make of their first half?
They've done a nice job of turning this game into power basketball around the rim. And what they've been able to do, the hot zone will show us, is score right there underneath the rim. They're 9 out of 11 in this ball game so far. 20 points from twos and 10 points from the free throw line. That's a sign of strength. They're not doing anything on long twos, and they've only made 1 3. It's all around the rim, exactly what Missouri wanted to make this game, and so far advantage the guys in black.
Alex Oriaki was effective, especially early in the ball game. Here's Wade. Powell posted up big, trying to get the ball inside, really calling for it. Now they finally lob it up top to him. Powell almost had the three-point play going up over Bowers. He worked for that, Jimmy.
And that was a really hard pass. And speaking of hard passes and accurate passes, Phil Pressey in the first half only credited with 1 assist in the official stats. That's wrong. We're going to see 2 just in his highlight play. But he sees things that other guys don't see. He takes chances that other guys won't take. And his pace so far, I think Frank Haith is going to be happy with, because he has not played too fast too often.
Powell knocks down the free throw. 2-point ball game to get the half started. Oriaki, they go right to him inside, and he muscled it in.
Absolutely. Now make out it 10 out of 12 in that hot zone right around the rim. Power ball by Missouri on the road. That's how you win ball games.
And Jimmy, that's a dimension they didn't have last year, as Clark gets the and 1 opportunity. Cody Clark did a nice job shooting the 3 in the first half. Here, taking it to the bucket.
Well, Arkansas is opening up their offense because they can't play power ball around the rim. So what do you have to do to offset it? You open up your offense, you get different guys making hard basket cuts. Well done by Cody Clark.
Oh, what a first half he had, averaging only 6.6 points per game on the season. Almost doubling up on his average already.
What do you make, 3 threes?
Yeah.
And for the year, he had made 3 threes.
Never know what happens in February games.
Well, Oriaki still has advantage inside if Missouri's patient to get him a touch.
Now he steps up to give Pressey the ball screen. They blitz him.
There it is.
And he's got Powell on him. Oriaki with a smooth left-handed move.
He's a grown man right now in Bud Walton Arena. UConn never ran plays for Alex Oriaki, and it's taken him 2 or 3 months to get comfortable and confident when Frank Haith calls his number.
They say people born square don't die round, but he's turned into an offensive force here for Missouri. Powell out front, working against Bowers, took it right to him again.
Well, that's Marshawn Powell's game. That's a dilemma. If you don't go out and check him, he'll stick a 16-footer. If you do, he can drive, spin, and wheel on you around the rim.
There's Brown. Looking inside for Oriaki. Bowers in traffic, a contested shot. Scott on the move, back tap by Pressey. He's so good at doing that, and Missouri has numbers, a 3-on-2. Brown with the pull-up. Oriaki almost came over the top. A whistle. And possession arrow in favor of Missouri. Let's take a look at the first half numbers.
Keon Bell is the best driver against the pressure that Arkansas is putting on him. And as a result, he's been perfect from the field in the first half. Arkansas, they've moved the ball well, and they have to continue that formula. Side to side, try to grind away at Missouri.
Did you see that pass by Pressey? Another look-away pass to Oriaki on the inbound play.
He has a feel and a sense about him, doesn't he? Where everybody is at all times.
Oriaki sealed his man well, and they'll do it again here.
If I'm Alex Oriaki, you almost send a message to everyone right now on the team. If I don't get a touch, ain't nobody getting a touch because I'll get a 3-second count. I should be getting a touch every possession right now.
You're only half kidding.
Yeah, Joe Klein told me that one time when we were playing together.
Powell whistling a foul against Bowers. Boy, Powell has given Bowers all he can handle down there on the block. But let's take one more look, Jimmy, at this sleight of hand by Pressey on the pass.
Well, you can watch the inbounds. Again, it's his feel, it's his sense. He makes plays that others aren't capable of making. Again, it was a look away, very patient. He has good hand and size and grip on that basketball. Make a lot of plays with one paw.
Arkansas with a chance to take the lead here. Wade for the lead. Oriaki with the rebound. Dangerous outlet, but Pressey corrals it. Brown had it knocked away off of him. Hog basketball.
Jabari Brown has been bothered by contact in this game, and he's a shooter. And against a shooter, you want to make it a heavy contact game, lay the wood, set the rules, and Brown has not handled the contact so far.
Oh, the rust fell off his game in the early part of the season. Only played a couple of games at Oregon. And before that, had transferred through his high school ranks. Powell for the lead. Got it! Pressey with the lob and Oriaki with the finish, but a foul on the floor.
Well, a good screen up top by Clark. And just gets buried. Does Keon Bell. You can't get buried against a 47% in-conference shooter. And right back on the other end, Phil Pressey again. Power ball between he and Oriaki is what Missouri needs to stick with. Pressey off of Horns action. You can't let him turn the corner, and you let him do that every time.
Calling for the foul, but he won't get it. Says that Wade hit him on the arm.
He should know. He used to play in Mike Anderson's system. In Mike Anderson's system, very handsy, a lot of contact. And you're not going to get nearly as many calls when you're on the road against a Mike Anderson team. Phil Pressey has to play through the contact.
Going to struggle for him at the offensive end today. Just 1 of 6 from the field. Powell inside. Pressey comes up with a loose ball. The hit ahead to Bell. Keon Bell with the layup, and he's got 13. Powell. Good hustle by Clark. He's been kind of quiet as the team's leading scorer today. What do you make of that, Jimmy? How does he get untracked here?
Well, he's got big guards checking him. Keon Bell is an all-league defender, and he's about an inch taller than B.J. Young, and he works his tail off.
That's a good reason why. Powell and one!
I keep saying Marshawn Powell can drive, wheel, and spin on you. And he's one of the best in the SEC at doing it. At 6'7". He drives left, he spins and wheels and makes tough twos. Marshawn Powell right now is on fire.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN, and one of the rituals, time-honored ones here in Fayetteville.
Marshawn Powell wants to drive left, so you have to get chest on his left shoulder. Alex Oriaki doesn't do it because the right foot is not outside of the left foot. Chest on the left, you don't do it. He will drive, spin, and wheel on you. That's exactly who Marshawn Powell is. Oriaki was caught in a little bit of a mismatch. I understand that, but you must know personnel against Arkansas and get your chest on his left if you're checking.
And now Powell with a chance to complete that three-point play. .34 to go. And Arkansas with a three-point lead. Bell on the drive, and Keon Bell off glass. In traffic.
He just muscled his way through the Arkansas heat that time and kept himself under control. I was very impressed because Arkansas can speed you up.
Here's Powell working against Ernest Ross. Nice up and under move, blocked by Oriaki. Calling for goaltending, not going to get it though. Instead, Powell will go back to the line for a pair.
The guy guarding Powell on the block, it's not his responsibility to block a shot. Here's what I'm talking about, under control. Keon Bell brings it, and Arkansas will put a saddle on your hip, Jonesy. They'll saddle up your hip and try to get you going too fast. Bell did a nice job of playing to a tempo.
Powell knocks down the first free throw, and Keon Bell has made quite an adjustment in transitioning his game from a couple of years ago when he was leading scorer at Pepperdine to where he is now, and maybe the biggest adjustment of all of those guys. He averaged about 18 points a game. The thing I want to ask him, though, still, after speaking to him the first time, I forgot to ask him, hey, leaving Malibu must have been kind of tough.
You think?
On the Pacific?
Oh, my. What a beautiful campus, Pepperdine. He has fit in seamlessly for Missouri.
Haidar back in the ball game, guarding the ball now, and Ernest Ross. Pardon me, Jabari Brown. Brown cross court, good ball movement. Bell with a nice feed inside. Whistle and a foul as Ryan Rosberg will go to the line for two.
For the minutes that Keon Bell gives Frank Haith right now as a backup point guard, I think it's crucial to their possible making a run in March.
Can they live with him as a backup point guard? Because we saw them struggle with Florida's pressure a few weeks ago.
Yep, and they struggled in the Illinois game when Phil Pressey wasn't on the floor. But from that point on, they've been getting this kid groomed to play the backup minutes. Phil Pressey can handle 32, 33 minutes, but he can't go beyond that. And now Bell, as a second point guard, lead guard with size and a handle, very important for Missouri.
Rosberg misses the second. It's a two-point game. There's Williams. Powell gets the touch. Keon Bell with a strong rebound. A foul going to go against Haidar.
The ball was hot for Mike Anderson's guys the first four passes. It was really hot. But pass number 5, the ball got stuck. Pass number 6, the ball got shot. Arkansas is at their best when the ball stays hot the entire possession.
There's Bell working against Haidar, spins with it. And back down to another Missouri possession as Pressey gets set to check into the game. Jabari Brown on the switch. Ross on the drive. Man, it is physical inside. They're letting him play. Haidar for 3. Got it. Tough shot. Young in transition, a whistle and a traveling violation against Young. And Pressey comes back in.
Now Missouri was in a scramble situation, and the danger when you're scrambled is losing a shooter. Kiko Haidar steps into it. He shoots a good pass. It was on time and right on the target. And that's what he's on the floor for, to bother the basketball as a defender and make open threes.
Arkansas with their biggest lead of the game. Pressey with a stare down three, no good. What do you make of that shot, Jimmy?
That was Phil Pressey again with his eyes lighting up when Haidar checks him, thinking that he can just whip him one-on-one.
And Pressey fouled on his way to the bucket before the shot by Madden. Phil Pressey having a tough time this afternoon. Just 1 of 6 from the field.
Jonesy, he's a 24% three-point shooter, Phil Pressey. And that time he got caught, Phil, against Arkansas, dancing with the ball, playing with the ball up top, jumps up and takes a three. Things that Frank Haith trying to get out of his system.
That's going to be an offensive foul, an easy call against Jabari Brown.
Kiko Haidar can get it chaotic and frustrate you.
He winked at one of the Hog fans in the stands.
He's a frustrating little guy to play against. Jabari Brown in Missouri, how competitive can you be without losing your discipline?
It's been more than 30 years since Dick Vitale recruited Magic Johnson as head coach at the University of Detroit. On Tuesday, the former Michigan State star finally joins Vitale to call a huge Big Ten game between number 1 Indiana and number 8 Michigan State. The Hall of Famers join Mike Tirico to bring you all the action Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. I'd love to know what that recruiting visit went like when Vitale sat down with my friend Irvin and said, "Son, we'd like you to come to the University of Detroit play for the Titans."
It obviously didn't work out quite so well. It did work out well for Magic. What a broadcast that's going to be. And think about this. Big-time broadcast for the best team in the country, I think, Indiana. Only 1 out of the past 8 national champions had an offensive efficiency outside of the top 6. Right now, 1 through 6 in offensive efficiency, Indiana, Florida, Michigan, Gonzaga, Creighton, and Duke. Might be your national champion in that group right now.
Some impressive numbers. Here's Madden. Nicholson steps out and got a friendly roll. Good touch. And the lead is up to 7 now for Arkansas. They get to set their press, too, after the make. Pressing on the drive and kick. Boy, the Razorbacks with those active hands, Jimmy. We talked about how, quote-unquote, handsy that defense is. They get a lot of deflections, don't they?
Absolutely. They chart it, and again, when the full court press comes, they're trying to speed you up. Phil Pressey has played in Mike Anderson's system. He should know that and not get sped up.
Five on the shot clock. Ross on the drive. Wild, out of control, but he'll take it anyway. Ernest Ross, the Auburn transfer.
Nothing was good about that move by Ross, except at the very end, his shoulder strength finally calmed him down, and he got that ball through contact.
Ross and Murphy Holloway got the best set of shoulders in the SEC. I would.
Patrick Young would be in that group as well.
There's Ross again on the move, and that's a foul against Haidar. I'm going to say it's on the floor.
A good foul by Kiko Haidar, because that was an automatic two waiting to happen.
Yeah, how do you spell mismatch in the open court? It's Ross against Haidar.
They're keeping Pressey under wraps.
Yeah, they sure are.
Yeah.
What about Bowers? What's a different guy since the last time? Let's talk about Bowers at some point. Seemed like more. Yeah, I thought he had more. That's what I said at halftime. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Back here, 5-point lead for the Razorbacks. And a tough struggle today for Flip Pressey as he inbounds for the Tigers.
Alex Oriaki, 2 out of 2 in this ballgame from the field. It was surprising. I thought he had more touches than that, and I would certainly get him more touches.
It felt like he had scored more than that. Inside to him right here. And a good double team. Haidar lifted up off his feet by Oriaki.
I told you that little dude will frustrate you.
And possession arrow, Arkansas. There's a Sports Center moment.
Absolutely. Alex Oriaki turns and pivots, and from behind, that's not a tie ball, that's a tie Haidar.
Lifted him up. Did a couple reps with the guy. But it paid off for the Razorbacks. Here's Powell working against Bowers. There's that spin move he's used so effectively. Madden missed the tip. Oriaki battling for the rebound. Whistle, and finally a foul called on the contact on Rashad Madden.
And the foul is on Madden, but he fouled twice before they finally stuck him. You have to call the first foul on this play. That was a foul, there's another foul, and finally the second time the foul gets called. You have to protect the rebounder, you have to protect the guy with the ball better than they just did.
Well, it's going to send Oriaki to the foul line, an 81% free throw shooter. His team down by 5 points.
Jonesy, ultimately they got the call right. But you're also almost asking Oriaki to throw an elbow out of frustration. That's why you've got to call the contact as soon as it happens.
Yeah, good point. Madden goes to the bench. That's the 17th foul, and that's going to be a foul against the Tigers now. And both teams going to be shooting free throws from here on in. Both with 17 fouls. Jimmy, let's talk about Lawrence Bowers a little bit. Just 1 of 9 from the field. He's their second leading scorer, a guy that is really the voice and the face of this team. And since that injury, he's been a different guy. And off the Mickelson miss, how do they get him going, or how important is it that they get him going? Not just now, but down the stretch.
Absolutely. He's just been okay, like you said, since the injury. He relies on hard cuts. He's a terrific athlete. I think his knee, from talking to their staff, is fine. Mentally, I don't know if he trusts it back yet. But before that injury, he was playing as one of the better stretch fours in all of college ball, and he needs to get as close to that level as he can if Missouri's going to make any kind of a run in March.
Young with the deep three. Mickelson, what a tip!
I mean, he just went and got it. Mickelson did.
That's going to be a foul against Haidar, and he got leveled on a screen. Keon Bell going to go to the free throw line.
Mickelson is 6'10", and you don't check him off. He does a good job of just, right there. He's just making a play, just a basketball play. Long up top.
Bell, meanwhile, at the free throw line. Pretty good foul shooter on the season. Keon Bell, a very diverse student athlete. A couple of years ago, put out his own mixtape. A music producer and artist in his own right. A mixtape labeled "The 90s Made Me," and putting on the final chapters of his career here at Missouri.
He is a terrific driver.
Looks like we got a change on the foul, and our official is going to come over here and explain it to us. There was a little confusion at the scorer's table. Jimmy, you just heard the official word. It looked like they call it on.
Yeah, the foul was on Marshawn Powell, but there was confusion at the scorer's table, so you just go over and make sure you clear it up.
It's going to go against Marshawn Powell. Bell with the second of 2 on the way.
If you step in to Keon Bell's territory, that's advantage Keon Bell. He'll bring the game to you because he's a driver and he's having success driving the ball. Don't step into his game. He's going to bring it to you.
Keon Bell with big-time talent. 3-point lead for Arkansas. A different process this year for Frank Haith. Kind of put this team together. Last year, the team was a kind of a senior-laden team. They had their own equity and their own identity, Jimmy, pretty much established, didn't they?
Yep, by now they certainly did, and this club is still trying to figure it out.
So we got to look at Kim English, one of the former players that's here in attendance today, member now of the Detroit Pistons, but made the trip during the All-Star break to come down and watch his former teammates.
He was so tough last year, Kim English was. Had to play the 4 position at times defensively. You know, he's a 6'5", 6'6" kid that had to guard Thomas Robinson, Jeff Whitley. I mean, he had to do whatever you have to do as a 4 guy. I think he'll be in that NBA a long time because of all the intangibles that he brings.
Bowers inside, still struggling. Oriaki missed the follow.
No pop, no explosion out of him, huh? Around the rim.
Wade wide open for 3. Bang! And an anguished look on English's face, the former Tiger. Pressey got hung up in the air, luckily got it back. And he did it again. Whistle, and we got a foul underneath.
That should be a double foul.
Yeah, it is.
That should be a double foul. I think the officials let it go about 3 or 4 seconds too long.
Qualls and Bowers got into it a little bit.
They were going at it up there. That's a double foul. They continued to go at it, and finally they called it there. They should have stepped in 2 or 3 seconds earlier. Mike Anderson should light up Qualls, and Frank Hayes should light up Lawrence Bowers.
A double foul has been called.
That's the right call. And in a game like this, I'm telling you, when Missouri joined the SEC, this became an instant feud in this part of the country. Missouri lost their natural rival in Kansas, and I think this is going to replace that Kansas-Missouri rivalry.
Interesting dynamic. It's already started that way. 9:25 to go in the second half.
Well, what you're checking
That's where
for,
it started, Jimmy.
Yeah,
right there.
Right
you pointed
there.
it out at the foul line.
Just make the call right now. They were both tangled up, and they had extra effort, and they let it go too long. And there were no punches thrown. Didn't see any elbows, contact above the rim. Above the neck.
And Bowers clearly frustrated today. He's just made one field goal, 1 of 10, and 4 fouls. The official is going to sort this out and explain it. Sounds like it's going to be Missouri basketball.
We go back to the point of interruption. Who had the basketball? It was Pressey at that point. And you do not reset the shot clock. Stays at 21.
Missouri down by 6.
Frank Hayes took Lawrence Bowers out.
Oh boy.
Anderson leaves Qualls in.
And that's going to be a foul against Keon Bell. Mardrakus Wade drawing the charge. Let's take one more look at that one.
Good job of communicating on the switch. And Mardrakus Wade lighting up the on-ball action on the first bounce. Very well done by Arkansas's defense.
Wade with the ball fake.
And Jonesy, to me, the officiating shouldn't change right now. I know we just had a double foul. There's a lot of heat in the building. It's a rivalry game. But you just keep calling it like you're supposed to call it. If it's a foul, it's a foul. If it's not, it's not.
Largest lead of the game for Arkansas. Pressey on the drive. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Jonesy, if you don't do that, it's not fair to either ball club.
Right.
If you now start anticipating and pre-officiating and preventive officiating, you're not doing the game justice. Just stay consistent how you're calling the game. They've done a very good job of it, by the way.
Fans chanting air ball after the air ball that Pressey had a little bit earlier from downtown. Knocks down that one. Talked about him going to the skills academies, the various ones this past summer. He was roommates with Steve Nash. Actually with Kenny Boynton. That's one of the top players of the Nash camp. Honing his skills over the summer, but it's been a tough time for him today. 7-point lead. Wade with an open 3. Great hustle by Mickelson, didn't quite make it.
That's not the shot Mike Anderson wanted out of Mardrakus Wade.
Jimmy, that seems to be the dilemma as Anderson points to his head. when you play at that tempo, there's such, or you tell me, is there a fine, how fine is the line between a good and a bad shot? If you take the first available good one and you miss, that doesn't make it a bad shot, does it?
No, it doesn't. But right now for Arkansas, time, score, and momentum always tells you what your shot selection should be, and everything favors Arkansas right now in those areas.
Pressey inside, got ripped.
I think that's another good example of Phil against Arkansas, not what Frank Haith wants.
Battle for the rebound, nice pass off the board, and Powell fouled by Oriaki. Arkansas just a half step quicker right now.
Yep. That's what they did to Florida a couple of Tuesdays ago. 80% of the 50 balls they won, they're getting their fair share of them in this building as well.
And Powell back to the foul line. That's the fourth foul against Alex Oriaki. So, Jimmy, that begs the question. Your team's down by 7, or make that 8 points now. Well, there's the answer. Oriaki's got to come out. But how long do you leave him out for now? I mean, 8 minutes to go.
Well, they haven't been going to him offensively as much as I think that Frank Haith would like to on the offensive end, because he just has the ability to pound away in the box, and that's what Missouri needs to do right now in this ball game, and no more than a couple of minutes.
Pressey still looking to find his jumper out of bounds. It'll come back the other way.
That won't work, and Frank Haith is going to say something very similar to Pressey right now. That will only continue to get them beat, and the lead will continue to grow. Frank Haith warned Phil Pressey. His own dad knows right now it cannot be Phil Pressey against Arkansas. Share the ball, move the ball. He has talent around him. Brown can play. Bell can play. Oriaki can play.
That was a foul against Arkansas. Griswold at the free throw line. That foul was against Mickelson.
Mike Anderson and Paul Pressey are best buddies. I mean best buddies. Their families vacation together. Phil Pressey is like a second son to Mike Anderson. And you might wonder right now with Phil Pressey, has he gone beyond the magic level because of the different dynamics that are weighing into this game?
Wow, good point. Side to Powell.
The ball is staying hot. It's not getting stuck. That's the 7th pass.
Oh, and Powell just missing the jam. But they got a great look. Keon Bell on the move. What a layup in transition.
Wow.
Great hands and catch by Bell.
Dude is a player, man. I'm telling you. That dude is a player. He has made 2 very difficult catches in transition in this game to keep the ball under control. One in the first half and one on the last play.
Young on the move. B.J. Young and one. Timeout. Hogs with the lead. B.J. Young, the team's leading scorer, starting to come alive. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, Keon Bell pulling another rabbit out of his hat.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by Volvo, luxury cars designed around you. And Hampton Hotels. Feel the Hamptonality.
All right, guys, and speaking of the West Coast Conference, a big win by Pepperdine over Loyola Marymount, their rivals from down the highway a couple of nights ago. Keon Bell having a good day, former Pepperdine Wave star. Well, right now it's B.J. Young going to the free throw line for Arkansas.
That last basket by Young sums up exactly who he is and why he's hard to guard.
Off the miss. Any time left, just a 6-point lead. But Pressey and Bowers just a combined 2 of 18. Bell kicks it out. Jabari Brown, whistle and a foul underneath. That's going to go against Arkansas. That's going to send Criswell to the free throw line.
Missouri just needs to hang in this ball game now. Syracuse, the only team to win in this building, and it took a 35-point performance from James Sutherland to do it.
And he hasn't shot the ball that well since.
No, he has not. I had them Wednesday night at UConn. UConn stuck it to him. But this would be a very important ball game for Missouri if they can come in here and get a win and start getting on a roll. I still say they have the pieces to be a dangerous, dangerous club in March.
Young out top. Off the screen, he lost the handle. A chance to cut the lead down to 3.
Missouri's been pretty good on that pin down action by Arkansas, right into curl cuts, defending it today.
Bell missed an easy one, and Criswell couldn't get the handle.
That's only the second missed shot, though, by Bell in this game. I think you load up with him right now, letting him drive that ball.
Nice pass. Better cut and put back.
What a quick second jump, huh? By Michael Qualls. A quick second jump.
Criswell back to Bell. Great give and go play.
Jones, it all started, though, with Bell driving the ball. He's your player right now for Missouri because he's going to attract a lot of attention. He can make passes.
Off the turnover, here come the Tigers. Ross on the move, strong move. Brown couldn't get it. Ross never gave up on it, and it's down to just, what, a 3-point game.
Arkansas just got outworked in that last 15 seconds, and Mike Anderson is not going to have any part of it.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take a look at this week's bracketology brought to you by Allstate. Jimmy, when you look at the last 4 in, first 4 out, top seeds, what jumps off the page at you?
Well, I look at St. John's. They missed an opportunity at Louisville the other night. Those 4 number 1 seeds, I agree with right now. I don't think Miami's going to go away in that ACC. They're too old. They're too experienced. Their point guard, Larkin, plays terrific speed and pace. Larinaga has ridden a lot of big horses in big races. You know, where will Duke be if they get Ryan Kelly back? I think the selection committee has to get an honest feel for what is Duke going to look like in that bracket.
You still think Florida's a top seed without Will you get for the rest of the year?
I do right now. Yeah, I do right now the way they're playing. We're going to get a terrific test for Florida Tuesday night in Columbia. Missouri is just as good in their building as Arkansas has been in theirs this season.
Let's see what Arkansas does out of this timeout. They lead by 3. Powell lost the handle, got it back. Pressey with the loose ball rebound, and here come the Tigers, a chance to cut it to 1. Mickelson getting set to come back in for Mike Anderson.
They continue to crowd the action up top. Now Pressey.
Ross with a deep three, missed everything.
That was a good read by Pressey. He didn't continue to fight against the crowd. Little misdirection with a throwback. It was a nice play design, knowing they're going to get two guys on Pressey, throw it back. And Ross, a trusted three-point shooter, draws nothing but the floor.
Young on the move. Mickelson got rejected. Back comes Jabari Brown. Nice Euro step, and he draws the foul.
It all started with Mickelson not being mean enough, ornery enough, tough enough in a crowd. I mean, B.J. Young just spoon feeds Mickelson right here. And at that point, the toughest guy is going to win. And Mickelson shot the ball because he had to at that point, not because he wanted to, and get fouled. There's a big, big difference.
Brown, the team's leading scorer, knocks down the foul shot. Down to a two-point game. Mickelson comes back out. Missouri looking for its 19th win of the season against 6 losses. They've won just one game on the road in conference play this year. That coming just a couple of nights ago at Mississippi State. This would be a bit of a confidence builder, don't you think, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
Missouri, if they win here?
Yeah, and I think the perception Missouri goes to another level in the eyes of all of us, because this building is as tough as any as there is to win in right now.
B.J. Young coming off a 25-point game in their last run, their win against Auburn.
There's a pin-down curl move that Arkansas is so good at from the weak side. Mike Anderson changes his defense and goes to his zone.
Corner three, Ross.
Wow.
Big shot. Ross.
I love what Ernest Ross just did. He shot an air ball, then he comes back and sticks one. There's that curl action off the pin down, but the most important basket and the more impressive basket is what Ernest Ross just did. A sign of a tough son of a gun. I think Ross is. You don't let one mistake become two. And Ernest Ross shot an air ball. The ball landed on the floor the last time he shot it. But the very next possession, the shot gets challenged. He sticks his feet. He sticks the landing. Bam! That was well done by Ernest Ross.
That takes a lot of testosterone to come back and take that shot again.
Man, I love what he just did.
Parents were in the Navy, traveled a little bit. Born in Guam, actually. Very itinerant, been all over the globe. Lived in 8 different states. And finding a home here in Columbia, Missouri for the Missouri Tigers. Oriaki still on the bench with 4 fouls. When do you think about bringing him back if you're Frank Haith? Or do you leave it as is the way they're going?
Well, I think, they're tied right now. Anytime after the next TV timeout will be time for Oriaki to check back in.
Right out swings it around to Young. .14 on the shot clock. Young open for 3. Rebounded by Criswell, and a chance for the Tigers now to take the lead back.
Young just can't snap it off. It doesn't look like what great shooters look like when it leaves his hand.
Missouri calls out their horns. Play.
Where's Bell? Bell can drive it. He can drive Young, in my opinion.
They trap him. Pressey with the nice look to Criswell, and that's going to be a traveling violation. It's getting kind of rough inside, Jimmy, and outside.
Most feuds that I've ever watched are physical. Border War 2.0. Oriaki, a tie ball with Haidar, and ties up Haidar. Elbows flying. The heat is picking up in Bud Walton in a very important next 3 minutes and 15 seconds for both teams.
Are you doing something? All right, thanks a lot, guys. Meanwhile, boy, some big shots coming down the stretch, especially Ernest Ross bouncing back from an earlier miss.
Yeah, I love. Watch Ernest Ross. He's going to take off with toes on the B on the floor. That's the takeoff point. Watch where he lands. Boom, just about 6 inches in front of where his toes were to take off shooting the basketball. That's so important. Consistent jump shooters have the same takeoff spot and the same landing spot, and Ernest Ross is very consistent in that area with his footwork.
Led Auburn in scoring and rebounding a couple years ago before transfer.
As a result, he's a 48% three-point shooter in conference play. Footwork always lines up the release point on your shot.
Here's Madden. 10 on the shot clock for Arkansas. Well, Clark was begging for it for a long time inside. They gave it to him a little bit late. Out of bounds. They get a reset on the shot clock. And it'll be Arkansas basketball. Cody Clark got up to a good start. Had 3 threes in the first half. Clark off the inbound. Brought it down and found trouble. Got ripped. Loose ball still in the rugby scrum. Whose ball? It's going to come back the other way. Missouri basketball with a chance to take the lead.
Cody Clark bounced the basketball to try to get himself on balance. There was no reason. Missouri switched all the action. Arkansas got the ball right in front of the rim on an out-of-bounds play. From there, you got to go up and score, get fouled.
Ross stepped on somebody's foot. Boy, what a pass to Bell. Do you believe that?
The toughness of Ernest Ross right now is very impressive. An air ball and then a made sticks a three. Down on the floor, tough enough to come up with a ball and keep his composure.
In rhythm, but off the mark by Madden. Missouri leading by 2, under 2 minutes to go.
And Phil Preston needs to be good right now, Jonesy. He cannot be a high-risk point guard. On the road with the lead. A chance to win where only one team's won all season.
Presley with just 2 assists today, according to our score. They flatten it out for him in a 1-4 set. Looks like he's going to go to work, try and create a little something off the high ball screen now. Great defense by Haidar.
Yep.
And they blew the play up.
That's what I was afraid of with Pressey. Could he close out? Important possession. He didn't do it.
And Powell ties it up at 65. That was actually back-tapped right to Powell, it looked like. A wild sequence leading to the Arkansas basket.
Phil Pressey needs to stay low and tight. That is not a time, Jonesy, to take the ball between your legs. You're up 2 on the road. A minute and change to go. And when he took the ball between his legs, Haidar stuck a hand there as well and interrupted the basketball. Simple, sound, and clean with the ball is what you have to be as a point guard on the road.
Hey, what? Haidar's been, Jimmy, one of the better defensive players on the floor today.
Absolutely. He bothers the basketball as well as anyone that Mike Anderson can put on the floor. And Mike Anderson says, go check Phil Pressey one more time. I told you the first time he checked in, that is not a mismatch.
And Pressey, it's been a struggle all day for him, but he coolly hits the mid-range J.
Big play out of Pressey again. Makes a bad play, comes back and makes a huge play.
Young with a tough shot. Bell with the rebound, and that's going to be a foul. Dion Bell will go to the free throw line for Missouri. And Young is down on the court. Apparently shaken up. Tell you what this does, Jimmy, you talked about it at the top of the show, has the makings of quite the rivalry. Some contentious moments, some physical play, and one more look at the cool jumper by Pressey.
Yeah, you know, he didn't get going too fast. Haidar was riding his hip. But Phil Pressey did a good job of getting himself and staying under control. And right there at the end, B.J. Young kind of fell on that left shoulder and jammed it.
Now at the foul line. Nothing but net on the first. ESPN College Basketball available anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and the Watch ESPN app. Keon Bell, 85% free throw shooter on the season. Boy, he continues to be on a tear offensively. He's averaging 20 points per over the last 4 coming in. Goes 1 for 2 here. And a traveling violation against Ross.
Ernest Ross better stay in check right now. You can be frustrated, but you better walk away quickly.
Looks like he kept that left foot as his pivot foot.
I thought he did too. And now get right back in the moment. Arkansas, they don't need a 3 here at all. Extend the length of this game and try to give your defense another chance if you can get it quick too.
Take one more look at the traveling violation against Ross. There he's got possession.
Well, the left foot was planted, but they may have stuck him before he got the,
right.
He's got the ball.
There's a little shuffle there.
There's a little shuffle because there's a lot of contact from behind. Is why he was shuffling.
Ernest Ross, a 6'5" junior out of Cary, North Carolina. 46 seconds to go, and Arkansas with the basketball. There's a look at the menu coming up. Duke, Maryland next on ESPN. On ESPN2, Detroit against Valpo. And then Texas taking on Kansas. Mike Kabongo back?
Yeah, he is. Had a good first game for him as well. Now, Arkansas 7 out of 23, I think, or 24 from the three-point line in this game. That is not their team strength. And they don't need to try to make that their team strength right now unless they get a good, clean, wide-open 3 look. Extend the length of this game. How do they do it? B.J. Young is a guy that can drive the ball and make a play and make tough too. You certainly trust the basketball in the hands of Marshawn Powell.
So you're not necessarily, if you're Missouri, trying to run Arkansas off the three-point line and playing for the 3 right now defensively.
No, I don't think you get overextended at all. I think you're guarding the drive. You're trying to delete the quick drive to the rim by Arkansas.
Folks, don't forget, coming up next, Duke against Maryland. You can see this game on ESPN News. If this one doesn't end in time, tip time for Duke and Maryland is 6:11 Eastern time. Remember, you can watch it on ESPN News. It's 6:11 Eastern time right now.
Shows you B.J. Young's the best now. He is the best at getting inside the defense and making hard shots in the lane.
Got the ball screen. They go inside to Powell. Just from point-blank range. And a foul on the follow, and a strong follow. An impressive one by Cody Clark.
That was a terrific play call and setup by Mike Anderson. Set for B.J. Young. If you can turn the corner and go, go. If not, we're going to post Marshawn Powell up right in front of you. And you're right about Cody Clark coming in with a purpose.
What a day he's had offensively. 12 points, doubling up on his season average of 6.6. But a critical miss right there with just 38 seconds to go. Oriaki comes back in with 4 fouls. Griswold sits down.
Both teams in the double bonus, so Arkansas without any fouls to give. If the free throw goes, will Mike Anderson come with full court press? I expect it to be hot, and here they go.
Bell with a nice cut to get open. He's fouled by Haidar, and Keon Bell, as I mentioned earlier, an 85% free throw shooter on the season. As far as Missouri's concerned, the right guy going to the foul line.
You're right about the nice cut by Keon Bell. You don't fight pressure with pressure. So what does he do? He runs away from the pressure and just makes a simple over-the-top pass. Too many teams against Arkansas will try to fight that pressure with pressure. Keon Bell was a pressure release by making the right cut. Kid's playing he's playing as well as any guard in the SEC right now.
Big-time athlete out of Los Angeles. Makes the first of 2. I tell you what, those practices Frank Haith had last year with those transfers must have been pretty competitive.
You think so? Yeah, absolutely.
Keon Bell and Jabari Brown, redshirting last year, making a big impact this year.
Arkansas's in the same spot. Don't settle for a 3. Drive the ball at the rim. At worst, get yourself fouled.
Young, foul and 1. Wow! They couldn't have had a worse result if you're the Tigers.
Where is the gap help for Missouri on this play? And first of all, he walked, but
that was an extra step.
That is an extra step.
That was an extra step.
So 1, 2, 3, and almost 4. That is a walk that should have been called. But where was the gap help for Missouri right now? I mean, they got B.J. Young on an island, Arkansas did.
Boy, 3 quick points, and it's a 1-point game. And Brown fouled by Young, and Jabari Brown, an 80% foul shooter, will go to the free throw line. So they stop the clock, but even if he makes both, it's still just a 1-possession game.
Frank Haith's team, number 1 free throw shooting team in the SEC. 78% in conference play.
That is short.
Yeah.
Short by a lot.
It's the same formula for Arkansas, Jones. He made or miss here. You're driving the ball. You're scoring at the rim and going to set your defense again. Plenty of time.
There's 1 for 2 to make it a 2-point game. Young again.
Mike Anderson might take a timeout here. That's the right call.
And 1. That is the right call. Wow. B.J. Young will try the 3-point play for the lead.
They're going to keep the ball in B.J. Young's hands. Where again is the gap defense on a kid that can't beat you from 3? This floor has to be shrunk. The last 2 possessions in transition, the floor wasn't shrunk defensively in the half court. There's no reason for anyone from Missouri to be outside the lane right now when number 11 has the basketball. Arkansas with a chance to take the lead.
Unbelievable play on consecutive possessions by B.J. Young. Don't forget, folks, Maryland-Duke is available right now on ESPN News. Keon Bell, meanwhile, is fouled out with 25 points. That's a new season high for him. And, Jimmy, that's huge because, you know, for the rest of the way in regulation, and if there is overtime, he's a key piece for them.
Absolutely he is.
As a defender, too, right?
Yeah, vital. Size and handle. 6'4" with a terrific handle. He makes tough 2s. And he's done it now the last 2 of Arkansas's last 3 possessions, and he finds the rim. That description is what B.J. Young has done the last 2 minutes.
For the lead.
Missouri with 2 timeouts on the road.
And that's going to be a timeout, and Frank Haith wanted a foul. He got his timeout first.
You're right. Phil Presley would have been shooting free throws. He got tripped. When was the timeout granted?
Right there is where he was tripped.
Yeah, that's bang bang.
And Frank Haith already was signaling the timeout.
It's not when was the timeout called, when was the timeout granted that you go by. And I thought the foul clearly occurred before the timeout was granted, but regardless, Missouri now, where will they go with the basketball? What's been good to them? Keon Bell has been terrific to them.
This is where you miss him, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And remember, a couple of possessions ago, Pressey took Haidar off the dribble and calmly hit a 15-foot jumper from the elbow. Without hesitation. Is this a chance maybe where you go to Oriaki, even though he's been on the bench for a long stretch here and might be a little bit cold?
You've got to get your best offensive rebounders on the floor, I think. Oriaki He's one of the best, if not the best, in the SEC at putback points. The loss at LSU and at A&M, those are the two bad losses that Missouri would love to have off of their resume. I like Keon Bell driving the ball, but he's not on the floor. So now it's Phil Pressey's time, and Alex Oriaki on the offensive glass is the way that Missouri can win this game.
With 13.6 seconds to go, when do you actually want to get the shot up?
I think within the first 6 or 7, you have to give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound. You have to give yourself a chance for a foul if you don't get it. You go quickly right now if you're Missouri. Phil Pressey has to make the right read. The ball has to get up on the rim, and Alex Oriaki has to go get it. He and Ernest Ross are the two guys that I'd be concerned with on the boards.
Pressey gets it back from Bowers. Got double teamed, and they turn him over. Clark lost it back. Out of bounds. The officials look at each other, and they say Arkansas ball.
This is where officials in college need to be able to go to the monitor in the last minute and make sure.
Agreed.
This is a call that they cannot get wrong, but right now the officials can't go to the monitor. Boom, they jump out. Phil Pressey got going too fast, out of control. Right there, that ball. I think they got it right. I think it was off Lawrence Bowers. A hard call to make. Right here, Phil Pressey going too fast. A terrific job by Cody Clark to jump out. A hard hedge right into the chest of Pressey.
I think that was off Bowers. Wow. So Missouri, Jimmy, doesn't even get an attempt at the basket. How much of that turnover is actually on Bowers? Don't you hear coaches say you got to be the guy's eyes when you give him the ball? In a sense, did he lead Pressey into that a little bit, or are you saying Pressey was just a little too fast on the trigger?
I think that's what the play was. I think the play was designed to do exactly what Missouri did, and Arkansas did a good job of sniffing it out. Now for Arkansas, you've got to get the thing in and cover up the ball. The contact's going to come. Doesn't matter who it is, you're going to get free throw shots if you're Arkansas, if you can just get it inbounds.
Get it in and a foul immediately. DJ Young fouled, and he will go to the free throw line. Young, a 70% free throw shooter on the season. And even if he makes both, he's still got a shot with 5.3 to go. Boy, Young, after struggling, Jimmy, misses the first. So it's still a one-possession game, like I said.
Yep.
But now they can go for a 2 instead of a 3.
Yep.
Young struggled and then made 2 big plays down the stretch.
You can have time for 4 bounces for sure before a shot, especially if it's Phil Pressey.
So it's a 2-point game. And a timeout called by Frank Haith. 5.3 is an eternity. Especially when you got a guy like Phil Pressey that can get it up the floor in a hurry. So now, after being unable to get a shot at the basket on the last timeout, coming out of the last timeout, Jimmy, what's your preference here? Because your time is a little bit more limited with 5.3.
It is, but with Phil Pressey, he can get the ball from one end to the other in about 2.5 seconds. So he has time to get the ball all the way down and get a shot up. I think that's what Missouri has to try to do, get a shot up, and still an offensive rebound by Bowers, by Oriaki, and you have big shooters now. If Phil Pressey, I think Phil Pressey is going to circle cut and try to get this ball in momentum. If he does, Brown and Ross are shooters, but this should be Phil Pressey time all the way down the floor, get a shot up, and can they get an offensive board?
And Arkansas pressing
right here.
Three-quarter court.
You're looking for this, I think, if you're Pressey, try to get it on the move. Boom, there he goes.
Can't start the clock yet. And we got a whistle here, and looked like they started the clock before Pressey actually touched the ball. You're not supposed to start it until at the touch.
It was 5.3, was it not?
Yes. Pressey looking over at the table saying, they're a little quick. Yeah, it shouldn't start until it's touched, and it clearly did before.
Started when the ball hit the floor. It's going to be the same cut.
Good screen by Oriaki.
He's got to go fast.
He has to go deep. Finds the open man, Brown, and Arkansas wins it. Brown had a good look and shot it a little bit strong. And Arkansas now improves to 15-1 at home.
Well, Arkansas does a good job on really not letting Pressey get a lot of momentum as soon as he had the basketball. They took away that banana cut into it. So the second option at that point is to advance it and get it into the hands of a shooter with size. And again, Arkansas at home, Syracuse the only team so far to come in and beat them.
Arkansas wins it 73-71. Right now we're going to send it to College Park, Maryland for number 2 Duke against Maryland. So long, everybody.
I don't have a clip here, but we can hang it. You really did a good job on Pressey. Did a good job on him. Got him frustrated.
He's good.
He's good.
First man.
You got to think, yeah. Man, how big was he down the stretch?
That's what players, I thought he was pressing early.
He did,
He
yeah.
was pressing.
I knew with 3 minutes ago, I said it's going to be in his hands.
Oh, yeah.
Missouri did.
Hey, Mark. Appreciate you being here.
Hello.
I know you was out of town.
You hear me? Okay, this is just generic, right? Okay. Yeah. Mike, first of all, the emotions of this ball game. You're at Missouri for 5 years. Phil Pressey and Bowers are like second sons to you. What are your thoughts right now after the game?
What a heck of a ball game, boy. I tell you what. Thank God they missed that last shot. Phil had his imprint on this game, and I know he's a great player. Bowers, a lot of heart, but I can't say enough. Atmosphere, our guys, they rose to the occasion. It didn't look good going down the stretch, and then number 11 steps up and steps up big.
Defensively, I thought you did a really good job on Pressey all game. You corralled him one-on-one individually. Maybe Kiko Haidar was as good as you had on the ball today.
Well, we talked about that. Everything goes through Phil, and obviously he's a guy that he's a winner, and so he's not going to let his team get out of it. And we had a 10-point lead with an opportunity to get some cushion, and they made plays. I thought we were tentative early on, but again, our defense was good.
Mike, you're trying to make a push. You're trying to make a push right now for an NCAA at-large consideration. How big is it to win games at home and continue to get this thing done?
It's big. Every game's big at home. And not only that, we got to take the show on the road as well. We did at Auburn, and hopefully our next outing we can do it. But, again, our guys can enjoy this to midnight. What a well of a ball game. The fans got to treat it to we talk about a rivalry. Yeah. Our state lines touch each other. So I think you saw a lot of intense play.
This part of the country, it's called a feud.
Family feud.